Dre, for picking that beautiful tune. I'd like to appropriate the words of one of our greatest teachers, Jesus Christ. I'm going to put a little twist on them, though. He said, when two or three are gathered in my name, I am with them. Today, I'd like to suggest to you that when two or three are gathered in love's name, love is with them. Can you feel it, my friends? Always here, always now, always available. If only we put ourselves in that space and tap into it. As you know, there are many ways to tap into it and reach the center. And one such way is to gather as a community, to share in our joys and concerns, to connect and speak with open hearts and minds, to teach and to learn from one another, so that we can be bringers of positivity, wisdom, and light in a world that so desperately needs it. My name's Ollie. I think I know everybody here at this point. I'll be your host on this glorious morning, and I'd like to say hello to anybody who's joining us via the marvels of modern technology, if anybody's there. If not, all good. Now, if you're trying to figure out what this Center of Love is all about, which I think everybody here kind of knows what it's about, but let me help you out anyways. You may have noticed I opened up with a quote from Jesus. Maybe you're wondering, got some kind of Christian offshoot or something. The truth is this: at the Center of Love, we play all the greatest hits. Christianity, Buddhism, Taoism, and everything in between, things that you're bringing into this space from your own experiences and learnings. And what I've noticed from studying a lot of these traditions over the years is that there's common threads that you find that run through all of them. And you can probably guess that love is pretty much the central foundational thread that unites all spiritual traditions. So when I say that our goal as a community is to lead with love, I'm not saying anything new. I believe it was Paul who told his audience in 1 Corinthians, let all that you do be done in love. Pretty straightforward. And then if we take a little trip back east to China and the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu says, serve the needs of others and all your own needs will be fulfilled. Through selfless action, fulfillment is attained. So whether you're in the East or the West, doesn't really matter. The message is always the same. And so we gathered to share these messages of love and wisdom, to share our gifts with one another, and to help each other become better and better ambassadors of love. Speaking of common threads, our speaker today, Dre Lavack, will be sharing his thoughts and his understanding on one such recurring theme, an idea or perhaps an essential truth that one finds over and over again in traditions and philosophies the world over. One of my dearest teachers, Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, writing 2,000 years ago, said, we live only in the present, in this fleet-footed moment. The rest is lost behind us or ahead of us and uncertain. In modern times, individuals like Ram Dass, Alan Watts, Thich Nhat Hanh, and of course, Eckhart Tolle have all brought forward this simple yet profound idea that the only thing you can ever experience is this fleet-footed moment, the present, the now. Dre Lavack is an adventurer through time and space. He came here to Victoria 25 years ago as an import from Montreal, my hometown. Here he found 13 years ago his home, and he also co-founded a spiritual center called the Center for Inspired Living, which he ran audio and tech support and did a lot of singing, I believe, which is awesome. Did that for 11 years. And Dre does his best to live in the moment and surrender to what shows up in front of him. He went from being a computer tech at Camosun College for 10 years and is now swimming in the deep waters of mergers and acquisitions. What a transition, sir. Dre is like a mushroom. He's a fungi. Now, here to speak about how now is a cause for wow. Here's Dre.
There you have it. There you have it. Nothing like a little bit of humor to get us going and
Yes.
present and feeling good and smiling and laughing. And you notice when you laugh, you have that vibration and it floats around here. That's life right there. I'm going to use my technology to keep me on track for time so that I don't run you over time. And who knows? What did I write here? Oh, good. Hello, beautiful people. I'm glad that you're here and you're here too. Technology is so amazing, brings us all together. And whether we started off today feeling good, feeling bad, feeling crappy, feeling happy, feeling up, feeling down, you kind of notice that there's a progression that we can either feel one side or another. It's almost as if we live in a world we call duality. Ooh, would everyone agree with that? We live in a world of duality. Some people don't. Some people say, no, it's all non-duality.
No thanks, I had coffee this morning.
Okay, sure, whatever floats your boat. But that's not important. The important part is that we do, in order for us to be able to feel happy, we have to know what sadness is like. So that contrast is what helps make life really rich and exciting, even if none of us really want to feel sad, crappy, and sad, and all of that fun stuff, right? Now, I have a gift for each and every one of you, and you at home too. I'm going to pull an Oprah and I'm going to say, I am giving you the most powerful computer on the planet that you get to take home and do anything that you want with. What is this computer? It's that biological thing that you're sitting in. It's got a couple of webcams. It's got a couple of microphones. It's got one speaker. And this is a really powerful computer, the most powerful computer on the planet. And you get to take it home, but you may not have realized how powerful it really is when you consider that it's recording absolutely everything in your experience all the time, and it's stored everything since you were born and even beyond, since you were conceived, really. So powerful. I love this computer, this biocomputer. But it's important to realize that this computer is not you. It's not who you are, right? It's, if we're going to contemplate the question of the ages, who am I? It's been asked throughout the centuries, who am I? And it's such a tough question to answer. And while we're not going to dive into the complexities of trying to answer that question, we're just going to go with what a lot of our teachers, quoting Jesus and so on and so forth, say that we are, and that's consciousness. The truth of who we are is consciousness housed in this biocomputer. Okay, so if that's true, that consciousness is the power supply for that biocomputer that you're sitting in right there. And that computer operates just like an actual computer does in creating all meaning through duality. In the sense of a computer, it's through zeros and ones. That's the only language that computers really understand. Everything, every picture, every video, everything that you've ever experienced is based out of those two numbers. And any number that you can come up with are really just multiples of one. So it's either on or off. So our computers work in duality as well. Zero is what? Like full circle. It kind of contains everything, but contains nothing. It's a space holder. And zero is an important part of the building blocks. And what's one? One is like on top, number one. You are the one. The consciousness of you is the one in your life. And you use that contrast to create all the meaning of what you experience in your life. Okay, we've gotten that far. So when you take into concept, how do we write to our consciousness? We use thinking. Thinking basically writes zeros to our hard drive. It writes all kinds of experiences, we give it meaning or whatever. And when you're present and really conscious, which for most of us is not that often, maybe in a day, maybe in a week, or maybe in a month, we're writing ones to our hard drive. Real meaningful life experiences as expressed by Eckhart Tolle and all of the teachers So that's good. We've established that we live in a world of duality, that what did I write there? And we've established that you're sitting in a biocomputer of your very own, but that it's not you. And if who you are is consciousness, and you're in a world of duality, I have a question for you. If we're in a world of duality and who you are is consciousness, what is the opposite of you? Any thoughts? Anyone want to throw something out into the ethers? You can't get it wrong. All right, I'll put you out of your misery. Everything else. I want you to consider that the opposite of you, the consciousness, the truth of who you are, is everything else. Everything. That means that my consciousness right now has created all of you, has created this house, has created all of the nature, has created the whole planet, has created all the galaxy, has created the universe, and is creating it when? The only moment that exists, right now. Because everything else that we've experienced from up until this moment right now is just a memory. And everything that we're contemplating is just a vision, thought, right now. So you really are, when we say, oh yeah, we create our own reality, that is like the science, if you will, my version of the science of how you're actually creating every single thing in your experience. That's my big revelation. 3 minutes to wrap it up.
Take your time, sir.
All right. So based on that I've contemplated that, but you know what? I always get to the point where it's kind of like my mind, when I'm living from my mind, which I do a lot, is okay, great. Who cares? Why does that make a difference? Why is that important? What can we do with that information? Okay, great. I'm creating everything. Don't always like everything I create, but I'm creating everything. But who cares? That doesn't give me anything. Well, it'll give you something when you realize that as you're going through your life, maybe you're not just experiencing the outside in, because as far as I understand, we live from the inside out. So your biocomputer is connected to a 3D printer. And it is actually printing everything that you're experiencing because you're creating it. And so if you judge anything, you're judging your own creation. How do you like what you're building? We're connected that way. We're actually like projectors. So in other words, if we weren't here to observe this room, would it even exist? Would it even be here, or would it just exist as a possibility? That tree in the forest, does it make a noise when we're not there? Right? So if we take the learnings from the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, however you pronounce his name. One is that life is a series of present moments. That's all it is. We're beings moving at the speed, we're light beings moving at the that's what time is. It's just now slowed down to its absolute slowest denominator so we could experience it. And why do we feel pain, particularly psychological pain? Is because we believe we're the biocomputer. When we believe that this is all real, then it's easy to feel hurt by what comes at us, or feel elated by what comes at us, or feel everything in between. And the third point is when we free ourselves from this trap by becoming the observer and just watch what's going on, then we don't have to judge all of our urges and our thinking. We can just allow them to be in the now. How do I feel? What am I thinking now? How do I want to feel now? Because you can make yourself feel anything you want, right? You can think a happy thought right now and have yourself feel good. You could think of sad thought, have yourself feel sad. What do you want? You're creators, magnificent creators with your biocomputers. Yeah. So let's see. 2 more things to say. Stop. That's 10 minutes. All right. So my offering to you is to try to find ways to bring yourself to consciousness, to presence every day. You could put it on your phone, do a daily reminder, be present. If you really want to go for it, you could add reminders to that daily and add multiple times. But when you see it, don't just ignore it. Just say, oh yeah, I'll get to that later. Take the moment. Breathe. Use your breath as awareness of your body. It's that feeling inside, less the thinking, more the feeling. And once you let go of thought by feeling your senses all at once, feel like what it's like to look at something, to listen to something, to feel your clothing against your body or your body against the couch where you're sitting, whatever you smell, whatever you taste, all at the same time. That's a great way to get present. I already did the phone thing, and then keep a part of your consciousness inside your body at all times, no matter what you're doing. Now that's a practice, is that, you know, you may be talking to somebody, but reserve a portion of your consciousness within your body and how you feel going throughout the day. Those are my offerings today, because my last quote that I'm going to share, I'm not sure it's a quote, I've heard it before, I'm sure you have too. Yesterday's history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Thank you very much.
We've got a little song coming up as well, but first, just want to say I hope that your time here, our time together, both online and in person, was fulfilling, renewing, revitalizing, especially if you were up past midnight last night, as some of us were. We had a wedding last night, so we had a celebration of love all day and all night, and now I'm here celebrating and enjoying the love of this room, so it's been a real blessing. Shout out to Robin and Joel, who are members of this community. Had a beautiful wedding yesterday. Hope you were able to get what you needed here today, my friends, and I hope that you enjoyed an environment of loving kindness and acceptance.